Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Welcome you all for this Bhagavad Gita session online, and we have been doing these sessions at the Hindu temple of Allentown, and now we have gone online for obvious reasons. And we are looking into chapter 5. I'm giving this from Arsha Vidya Gurukulam. And in the chapter 6th. And this is Dhyana Yoga, the yoga of meditation, the chapter dealing with meditation as a topic. And we have seen 9 shlokas so far. The 9th shloka is a very nice shloka. Suhran mitra arjuda sina madhyastha dveshya bandhushu sadhushvapicha papeshu samabuddhir visishyate. So the samabuddhihi has been told. Samabuddhihi, the samatvam in buddhihi, has been told with regards to all sorts of people, whether they may be sadhu or wanting to do something good, or they may be a papi, a real papi, or a subjectively you think him to be a papi anyway. He can be a suhran, a friend, philosopher, guide, one who is inimical to you, or one who just dislikes. Hatred is there, or a bandhu, a relative. So, all sorts of people, we have to have a samabuddhi. The samatva buddhi is what? Like, it's not, we should not be like, why he is here, what is he up to? And, this person, I'm glad he's here. Then the other person, why is he here? What is he up to? How is he going to do that? And all those, immediately that flow of thoughts, right? That flow of thoughts are not required. So then you have a samabuddhi when you're composed. So, is yogi yunjita satatam. This is a new shloka for today. Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi stitah ekakiyata chittatma nirashira parigraha. Yogi is a subject. Yogi, what is he up to? What is she up to? This yogi. What is this person up to? He has to injita. Injita is a verb. The yogi word, and this yogi. What do you think if as soon as you hear the word yogi? We commonly, generally, if you ask anyone, he would tell one who has taken up to yoga, yogasanas, pranayama, hatha yoga. So he can be called yogi. In Gita, until the 5th chapter, we have seen the word yogi used for karma yogi, right? The yoga in action. When you perform duties, what is a yoga? Where you have yourself associated with. You associate yourself with Ishvara. Accept the result as Ishvara Prasada. Ishvara. That is where, that is the endowment of your buddhi. Then you are called a karma yogi. Now we are in the 6th chapter. So Shankaracharya Maharaj, whose Jayanti is coming, Shankara Jayanti is coming in a few days. And what he is saying, yogi is, dear devotees, he is graduating us. He is saying, you, the yogi, you are now called Dhyayi. You are a meditator, a contemplator. So that is a yogi. And what? And also is giving a lot of good adjectives for you. You are yata chittatma. Can you see that? In the second line, you see that. Yata chittatma. What is yata chittatma means? Chitta is mind. Chitta can be buddhi, which is the intellect. It can be the manaha, which is the mind, or it can be memory. Usually the word chitta is used for memory. Here, chitta is one whose mind is not tormented by the memory. So it is actually the mind. Although you can use any of the three. Why mind? Because Shankaracharya Maharaj says it is the mind. So that fits in properly. Then Atma, I'm looking into this compound word, Yata Chit Atma. Atma word is referring to the body. As I told several times, Atma is just it is a word, technical word in Sanskrit for you or I. So I can say that I was walking, then I refers to the body. When I say I was thinking, then the I refers to the mind. When I say I'm confused, then I refers to the mind. When I say I have to think about this problem, I have to bring in my memory and solve this problem, then you are using that I for your intellect. So because of that reason, Atma also is, can have all those meanings. Here, Atma is body. Yata is sanyata, composed. What is composure with respect to body and mind? Just not having the mind all over, having the body relatively healthy, not letting the body bother, keeping it at least that much healthy. This is yata chitta atma, right? So then this person also should be nirashihi. So this person, yata chitta atma, is one who has a composed body and mind. All right? So then nirashi word is there. The nirashi word in Sanskrit, icha rahityam. Now here, nirashi should be taken as vita trishna. What is vita trishna? See, nirashi is nirgataha asha. In who? Yasmin. The person who is not having any desirelessness, but that is not the meaning. That is one extreme. That is equivalent to being inert, right? So here we are to take vita trishnaha. We are just trying to avoid the other extreme of hankering and longing and brooding over situations and people and things, especially people, right? That especially the desire to change the other person. There's always this project going on in the mind, right? So that project giving up, that is nirashi. And there was a businessman, I'm giving examples here, right? So this businessman was listening to a satsanga. Swami Akhandanji Maharaj satsang he was listening. And the clock was behind his head. And he was turning around towards the end and he was looking at the time. But he was asking all big questions. then that is there is something, some asha, some pending project is there. With that, it is good. You have to go and take care of it. But meditation is not possible. So that when you sit for meditation, relatively we should be free from all this, pressing schedule and projects and all that. That is nirashi. Then you will be able to meditate. You should also be aparigraha. Parigraha in Tamil, there's a word called parikardu. Parikardu means to grab. Aparigraha, it means he should not be that person should not be a grabber. In Puja Swamiji's language, he should not be a hoarder, hoarding food sometimes. The buffet system, people walk and then they always take extra idli, extra roti, because they don't have to come back again. So that is a little bit of a hoarding there. Sometimes even worse, sometimes when the line is so long and when their turn comes and they are before gulab jamun, they take the gulab jamun and they take one more extra. The line is long, so we should be actually considerate that the last person may not get the jamun. So let me take one or even half. But this person, this is a general habit. Puja Swamiji says we all have this in us, a little bit of tendency to hoard. So that hoarding, aparigraha. There was a man who wants to meditate, and he has his wealth. All his, he wants to make sure that he all has his bundles of dollars, and if he's going to keep it under his asana, under his seat, and then meditate, how can we do that? Or key, chabi of the bureau. Some people have things in the locker in the bank. This is good, but still, in spite of that jewelry or that valuables being in the bank, they still carry it in their mind. They want, that is that kind of a distraction. So those things, aparigraha, you should be free from hoarding also. All right. So then this yogi, in that case, this dhyayi, the one who is taken to meditation, he should be able to meditate. But physically, what he should do? He should be ekaki. The meaning for ekaki is asahaya, sahaya free. Sahaya free. He should not carry his helper and sit and say that I'm sitting in meditation and giving him instructions. Hey, switch on the fan. I'm doing my bhajan. I'm doing meditation. Or switch off the fan. It is too cold. Having somebody around and then trying to meditate doesn't work. As Puja Swamiji would say, in meditation, you have to be ekaki. You don't need an accomplice. When you study Shastra, it may help to have an accomplice. Dviradhyayi. For adhyaya, for study, if you have a partner, if you have another person with you, it helps. For meditation, ekaki, you should be by yourself. All right? So, then, rahasi stitaha. What is rahasi stitaha? Rahasi stitaha. Rahasi means in a secret, actually. So, you have to choose a secluded place. That's what rahasi stitaha means. Shankaracharya Maharaj says, Giri Guhadav. Giri is in a mountain, or Guha is a cave. Or you can have a secluded place in your home also, in your puja room. So just away from disturbance. There are some, I used to go to this Ramakrishna Mutt in Chennai when I was much younger, and they used to have a meditation hall. The whole mutt is in a very crowded place. But when you enter that hall, you feel like meditating. It's a quiet place. So the quiet place can be within your home also. And then Atmanam Antahkaranam. So Atmanam is yourself. So yogi is that person. He Atmanam is himself. Yunjita. Yunjita is what? Samadadhyate. See, Yunjita word is also special. In the Karma Yoga also you have Yujyate, Yuktaha. These words come. Here the same word is Yunjita. Associate, unite, but you give yourself 100%, especially your mind, which is not possible when you do activities. Here you have been asked to relax, end of the day, sit back and meditate for a few minutes. How long? Satatam. Satatam word means yoga, anushtanam. Satatam means sarvada, always. Can you meditate all the time? So then our Swamiji Maharaj says, at a certain frequency, at a certain time, every day. In 24 hours, can you give 42 minutes for meditation? Oh, that is too much, right? So then, can you give 24 minutes? Maybe. Can you give 14 minutes? Why not? So, give at least 14, 15 minutes and meditate every day. Then also the quality. One Mahatma said that 20 minutes which you sit for meditation depends on how composed you were for the rest of 23 hours and 40 minutes. How good of a sleep you had, or everything. It depends on all that. What food you ate. Our Swamiji comes here, one Swamiji comes here, our Swami Tattvanji Maharaj is very particular about not sipping coffee right before the 7 o'clock meditation session. So Satatam means making it a quality time and choosing one time every day. And our Pratikbodanji Swamiji was asked, Pratikbodanji Swamiji, what is the best time for meditation? And he would say, the best time for meditation is when you can sit quietly for a few minutes. For a housewife, it can be when she has said bye to her husband and the children, everybody, work and school and everything, then she is relaxed. So maybe that is the best time. So it doesn't have to be Brahma Muhurta. Brahma Muhurta, if you can do for real, for sannyasis and brahmacharis, Brahma Muhurta is very good. Even for grahastha also. But we have to be practical about this. So it can be the best time, which is your best time. So the translation for this verse would be, may the meditator whose body and mind are relaxed, who is free from longing and possessions, may he, remaining alone in a quiet place, constantly unite her or his mind with the object of meditation. So I think you all have received several tips regarding your mind, especially. Whether you meditate or not, my interest is to give you as many interesting points regarding your mind. So we are all more alert, more awareful, and of course, we will choose to dedicate some time for meditation every day. The next verse, Shuchau, next verse onwards, very interesting. It's all very easy verses, next couple of verses. And it talks regarding some of the niyama, some of the rules which can make your meditation session very effective. Let us see those rules. Niyamas for effectiveness. This is the 11th shloka, 11th of the 6th chapter. Shuchau deshe pratishtapya sthiramasana atmanah natyutsritam nadinicham chailajina kushottaram. Chaila. See, meditation has to be done sitting. Some japa meditation, better to do it sitting. We can do other forms, but still that doesn't replace sitting and meditating for 20 minutes. If you are standing and meditation and doing meditation, then there's always the leg is paining, there's more distraction. Walking, there is some distraction also. You may fall. If you are walking and meditating, you may sometimes fall also. So then, and then also when you do some other activities, then also the meditation cannot be very effective. So sitting is required. Where do you sit? Shuchau deshe. Shuchau, clean place. Shuddha. Shankaracharya Maharaj says that Shuddhata can be swabhavataha. It can be a clean place, like you come to the ashram and you go to the trail, you find some nice clean place. The gazebo is there where you can sit and meditate. So, but then you don't have to drive all the way every day to the ashram to meditate. You can make your place where you want to meditate clean. Samskarataha. That is also Maharaj Shankaracharya is giving. I'm mentioning his name because why? Because Shankara Jayanti is coming, and of course because I'm using Shankara Bhashya. Our ashrama, all our Mahatmas, they use the Bhashya, the commentary of Shankaracharya Ji Maharaj to explain Gita and even other Upanishads also. So Shankaracharya Ji Maharaj very practically he says, you make your place clean in your wherever you want to meditate. Samskarataha. Don't keep searching for a clean place. Then your time is gone. Deshe. Shuchau deshe. Desha is country, but here deshe is sthane. Means one, you just need one small square. Doesn't have to be a big place in a corner. Then what do you put for meditation? On what do you sit? That is the last word, compound word in this shloka. What is that? Chaila, Ajina, Kushaha, Uttaram. Chaila, Ajina, Kushottaram. Chaila is a piece of cloth, kapda. Then Ajina is the skin of an animal. Deer, tiger. We'll get to that. Why that is required? We'll see that if it is available in a certain way. Kushaha is the darba. In some rituals, Shraddha and all, you see the kusha is nothing but that the grass, darba grass. Kushaha is a bundle, and then some people make an asana out of that. They sell like that. So that is the kusha asana. Uttara. So this compound word would mean Shaila, Ajina, and Kusha. Uttara, one above the other. Which means what? Which, according to this compound word, it would mean you put the cloth first, then the deer skin, and finally the Kusha, the grass asana. No. Shankaracharya Maharaj clarifies, it should be the reverse order. The darbha has to come first. Darbhasana. On the top is the skin, deer skin, followed by the cloth on the top. Why? Because the darbha can cut. Darbha grass is sharp, so it can cut. So you don't want that in the bottom, in the top. And then the deer skin. Puja Swamiji Maharaj says the deer skin usually in those days, it is always from a dead animal, an animal which was dead naturally. There should not be a bullet hole or the cut of a knife and all that. That is not acceptable. And why at all we need this? Sometimes Akhandaji Maharaj says, in those days, in this forest when they meditate, the deer skin is a good repellent. It's a repellent for some bugs, especially ants and scorpion, snake. So they get repelled by the sense of a skin and they move away. So it's safer. Then Chaila, Ajina, so that is how you do that. Chaila, Ajina, Kusha. And you have to have an asana. Some people think they're very simple. They're very humble. They think it's an act of humility not to have an asana. No. If you meditate, especially, you should have an asana. We know electricity, how it functions. If you're earthed and touch a live electric supply, we get the shock. But if you have something under your feet, then the electricity does not travel. Likewise, when you meditate also, you should have an asana. One more reason, if you sit on the bare floor, there is a problem of vata. The vata will accumulate. You will see that slowly you will get joint pains if you directly sit on the floor for a long time. And then the agni in the stomach will also, the intestine, the fire in the stomach and intestine, they will diminish. Mandagni. You don't want all that. So please always use an asana. Shuchev deshe visabod, about the place and about the asana. Then what else? Atmanaha. This asana, it should be the asana which is made of these 3 layers, which we said. It should be Atmanaha asanam. It should be your personal asana. Not that, the same asana, they put it in a corner and you just use one whenever you use it. It should be your personal asana. This also Shankaracharya Maharaj says. Atmanaha asanam sthiram. The asana should be very stable. This is regarding the seat. The next verse onwards, it will speak regarding your stability, your body stability. But here, the asana you choose should not be a rolling chair. Should not be a rocking chair. So it should be achalam, stable. Once your asana is stable, then half the job is done. And where should the asana be? We saw the place, but what level? For that, the shloka says, na atyuchritam. Na atyuchritam. It should not be at a very high level. No, it should not be at a very high level. And why? Because it gives you a sense of, like you're on the top. And it gives a fear also, fear of falling also. the more higher you raise your asana. You cannot sit on the top of the dining table and meditate, right? So that is regarding the height of the asana. And regarding level na ati nicham. See how our Krishna Paramatma, Bhagavan is talking about all these things. It should not be at a very low level also. So you can take this as it should not be at the ground level. You should not sit directly on the floor, going back to what I said before. Or you should not be sitting under in a hole or something. Then water flow and all this problem will be there. So it's all very obvious. So, but our Krishna Paramatma is making sure that these things are all recorded and stays. So you know what to do. You can always refer. So pratishtapya, placing a seat like this. So what is the translation? Having arranged one seat made of a piece of soft cloth, a skin and a grass mat, layered in reverse order in a clean place, firm, not too high and not too low. And after that, what do? You read the next shloka for that. Pratishtapya kim. After this, what? Tatraikagram manah kritva yatachittendriya kriyah upavishyasane yunjyat yogamatma vishuddhaye. So purpose of meditation is again stated in this. And this also talks regarding the mind and you being seated. So, tatra, there, where, asane. Now it is about the asana. Where? It is in the asana. Upavishya, having seated. Then, yata, chitta, indriya, kriyaha. You see that compound word? The third word in the verse. Yata chittendriya kriyaha. Kriyaha. Kriyaha means activities. Of what? Of indriyaha. Of your senses. Now when I'm speaking, if I look here and there, you also get distracted, right? So this is the indriya. Senses have to be away from the vishaya. Sarvebhyah vishayebhyah sakashat pratyagritya. You take the indriya away from their objects because now you're not doing any activity, you're meditating. Then yata chitta indriya. Chitta is again your mind. What do you do to the mind? Yata chitta indriya kriyaha. The mind also can become too active. And the body also can be shaking and all that, right? So the kriya at the level of body, mind and senses, the activities, body cannot be, wobbling and shaking and all that. We'll see it in the next verse. You cannot keep looking everywhere, right? So all these things are to be avoided while meditating. So that is why yata word is there. Yata is what? Sanyata, having all this available and in a state of composure. State of composure is not that fancy word. Composed is nothing but just taking it away from their objects and having it available for meditation. That is emphasized in the next word. Manaha ekagram krutva. Manaha, your mind. Take it away and ekagra. Bring it on the object of meditation. Focus it on the object of meditation. Then, when you do that, what is the phala? What is the result? Atma Vishuddha. This will bring Atma Vishuddha. That is why we say Atma Vishuddhaye. For the sake of Atma Vishuddhi. Very important, very required, right? Shuddhi is purity. pure. So when you say purity, which means what? Which means something is added, which has to be segregated, right? That is what Shuddhikarana means. So here, Atma Vishuddhi, Atma is what? Mind. Not Atma, not Paramatma, not Pratyagatma. Here it is mind. The mind, Vishuddha, is making the mind, taking it away. What you try to do by taking it away, and you will accomplish that, the mind will be naturally available for you. The mind will be very naturally available for you. That is called Atma Shuddhi, preparedness of mind, availability of mind, focus of mind. When it becomes natural, then you have accomplished Atma Shuddhi. Suppose if you have rice to cook and you want to cook rice, and suppose it is mixed up with some sesame seeds, can you cook that rice? No. You have to segregate the sesame seeds. So you have to separate the anatma. Anatma is all that might be bothering you. So then your antakarana, atma, manaha, mind is shuddhi, is shuddha. That is a shuddhi here, right? That is possible. When you sit and have your mind focused. So practice makes one perfect. That is it. Practice is manaha ekagratam, and perfection is when you have this atma shuddhi. Same. When the same becomes effortless, it is accomplishment. It is a real final accomplishment. Yogam yunjyat. So for yogam, for the sake of dhyana yoga, you are seated like this and you are preparing your mind like this. Yoga Anushtanam, for the sake of Yoga Anushtanam. Now, let me translate this verse for you. Sitting there on the seat, making one's mind one-pointed, absorbed in the object of meditation. This yunjyat is absorption. May the one who has mastered the mind and sense practice meditation for the purification of the mind. All right? So we'll see one more interesting, simple but interesting verse before we conclude, which is the next verse. The next verse is regarding your physical body. So you're seated in the asana. The asana we spoke about elaborately. Now, how about yourself? How should you be seated? So the bahya sadhana, the external situations have been spoken about. Now about your body itself. Samam kaya shiro grivam dharayannachalam sthirah samprekshya nasikagram swam dishascha. So your body is called kaya. Here, kaya refers to your trunk. This is front portion, trunk. Shira is head. Griva is neck. Griva is it's a griva, it is there. It's not griva. So when you do a compound word, it becomes kaya shiro grivam. Okay? Then what about this body? What about the trunk and the neck and head? Samam rijitvam, in one straight line. Sometimes when you say sit erect for the meditation, sit straight, people will go like this. No, you're arcing your back. So make sure you are straight in the front. Then you won't arc your back, trunk. And then you won't also lift your shoulders. So shoulders should be relaxed. And just the trunk, neck, and head should be in one straight line. Then achalam. Achalam is, you can have your body straight, but you may be rocking front and back. Sometimes when I talk also, because the camera is in front, this rocking. No, the rocking also should not be there in meditation. Some people, when they study mantra, they keep rocking. I've seen the people in the mosque, in the madarsas, when they do that, when they study their scripture also, they will be rocking. No, that rocking is not accepted in meditation. And they feel that only when they rock, they're actually doing it. No. And so that shaking should not be there. That is called achalam. Swam. Your nasikagram samprekshya. Nasika is nose. Agram is nose tip. Samprekshya. Samprekshya is what? It means, it would mean that you have to look at the tip of your nose, like you have to bring your eyes towards the tip of the nose. No, you should not. What is actually to be done is, Shankaracharya Maharaj, again, we need the commentary for this discussion, for these discussions. He says, if you're going to bring your eyes and try to focus on the tip of the nose, then your object of meditation would become your tip of the nose. And that too, the eye keeps going away, and your object of meditation would become this entire process of bringing your eyes towards the tip of the nose. No. Then your whole 20 minutes is gone just trying that. No. What does it mean? It means, you bring your eyes together. You bring your eyes together. You close your eyes, but inside your eyes are not really, just wobbly and looking at the corners and all that. Just looking straight. Just looking as relaxed as possible. That is what means nasikagram sampreksha. It is about making your eyes not look here and there. That is the sthirata. And then you have to be sthira. Sthira is like a pot on the floor. You should be without any wobbling, shaking. So some of the yoga practitioners, or let me say, some of the people who are new to yoga, they think they are very fascinated by the asanas, by sitting on the floor, which they have never tried. And they try to perfect that. And Puja Swamiji also gives this, does a demonstration, how they keep on wobbling. They'll be sitting, and then they will keep on, just adjusting it. From the back, when you see it, you get so distracted because they keep on doing like this. If you're in the front of them, no problem. You don't have to watch them. But if you're in the back, they'll do this, and they'll keep doing neck. I think they're having a checklist, and they keep on, checking that list. If they're able to, have the back like this and have their legs like that and all that. So sthiraha, you have to be motionless as much as possible. No movement. Paravashya sunyatvam. There should be karya karanayoho vishaya paravashya sunyatvam. The vishaya paravashya. And looking here and there. Paravashya is what? While meditating, this person is, while doing japa, is all over, looking here and there and all that. No. That is why the last word, what it says, Dishaha Anavalokayan. Disha is directions. Anavalokayan. Your eyes should not be looking at all the directions every now and then, here and there. No. And then you will, with all these things, you'll accomplish relative stability in your asana. Then whatever they keep asking you, yogam yunjyat, focus, that focus will easily come. So that way this meditation is accomplished with this kind of a preparation. Meditation takes preparation. In the ashram also, they have this guided meditation session, and they also prepare. Puji Swamiji says, first thing he says is, keep the external objects external. Suhrin, Mitra, Bandhu, Arihi. He may be anybody, especially people. Especially our agenda to change people, keep it external. If you have an agenda, then you're keeping it internal. If you don't, then you are keeping it external. And ekaki, we saw that, ekaki, sitting alone. There's no need to, fear. Some people say, if I sit alone, I have a fear. Fear of what? Fear of yourself, right? So you choose a place, quiet place. That is what means ekaki and all that we saw in the previous verses. And with all these instructions, if you can focus, then you are relatively, you will be able to have a very effective, very quality meditation session. Swamiji talks all this. Kaya Shiragrivam Samam. Kaya Shiragrivam is one of the instructions that Swamiji gives during meditation. So this is another instruction. So there are several instructions actually picked up by people who teach meditation from these sections of Bhagavad Gita. So further, what is required further, I'll just read the next shloka and give a translation. Before that, I'll give the translation for this 13th shloka, Samam Kaya Shiragrivam. So what does it say? Holding oneself firm without moving, keeping the body, head and neck in one straight line, as though looking at the tip of one's nose. Iva is as though. In Sanskrit, Iva is as though. That is what Bhashyakara Shankaracharya says. So as though looking at the tip of one's nose, for eye positioning, just for eye positioning, and not looking in all directions. So eye position is what? You don't have to look. See, they also say, right, look at the center here, or no, take your eyes up. I feel scared when some people do that, actually, to look at them. Even when I try to do that, maybe when you look, it looks a little scary. So eye should look straight. That is all it means by looking at the tip of the nose. It should not look up. All right. So, and not looking in all directions. Then you do what? Then the next shloka is Prashantatma Vigatabihi Brahmachari Vrate Sthitah Manas Sanyamya Machittah Yukta Asita Matparah. So I'll just read the translation and we'll come back for this next shloka in the next session. So having done all the preparation, being the one whose mind is tranquil is what? Tranquil is Prashantatma, who's free from fear, Vigata Bihi, established in one's commitment to the life of a brahmacharin. We'll see all that in the next session. May that meditator sit thinking of me. See here, Bhagavan is also come, having me as the ultimate goal. So the object of meditation has come. So that should be very interesting. So all the preparation now, what is the object of meditation? That has come. While withdrawing the mind from everything else. So this is the translation. And I'll do the translation one more time next week with all the explanations going with this shloka and other few shlokas. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Today there's a gap, so you can relaxedly sip some water, warm water, and join my next Bhagavatam session if you can via Zoom. Thank you all.